Chapter 1. A Roman City. Lydia, Macedonian blood flows through your veins. Be true to your heritage and honor your Macedonian forefathers. My father began telling me that when I was just a toddler, though I didn't understand what he meant. Our city, the city of Thyatira, had very much become a Roman city. Thyatira is surrounded by hills and lies in the mouth of a long valley that flows north from the Hermus River. We are fortunate that our fertile land remains fruitful without the hard work required in more parched regions of Asia. A continuous procession of camels transports Thyatira's produce to the bazaars of Pergamos, Sardis, and Smyrna. Prior to its colonization by Macedonian king Seleucus Nicator, Thyatira was a small farming village, sparsely populated and clustered around a central pagan temple. But the Macedonians viewed Thyatira as a strategic military outpost. They believed it was key to protecting the great trade highway that wound through the valley. Because of Thyatira's key location, they believed the protection of their rule and their provincial capital of Pergamos rested on the strength of our city. As a result, the fortunes of Pergamos and Thyatira were inextricably linked from that day forward. The Macedonian soldiers brought little in the way of possessions with them, but they did bring their worship of the sun god Apollo to our city. The temple constructed in his honor is one of the few Macedonian structures that remain in the city today. Though Thyatira was viewed as a gateway into Asia, it was never a fortified city. No one would ever mistake it as a powerful ruling city. Instead, our purpose was to protect whichever empire we happened to belong to at the time by preventing the enemy from penetrating deeper into imperial territory. That all changed, however, when we became a part of the Roman Empire. Emperor Augustus instituted changes that enabled our city to blossom and prosper into the thriving city we are today. The Roman Empire, with its vast military might, did not view our location as a strategic military outpost. Instead, they regarded us as a valuable city of industry and trade. Our city soon teemed with foundries for the production of brass and bronze instruments. Sweltering artisans toiled over white-hot flames, fashioning Thyatiran wares that were coveted throughout the empire. But those were not the only significant items produced in our city. We also became well known for our linen and woolen cloth industry, especially our red and purple cloth. Purple is the more costly of the two and is used primarily by those who are wealthy or royal. Red cloth, on the other hand, is more widely used by the masses. Purple cloth, generally sold throughout the empire, is produced using a dye derived from tiny Mediterranean mollusks found along the Phoenician and Spartan coasts. But the dye produced in Thyatira is refined from the roots of plants uniquely indigenous to our area. The combination of those roots and the waters of our region produce a dye that is a much richer hue and is resistant to fading, making it a more sought-after product. The current Roman Emperor, Vespasian, has done even more to foster the city's growth and prestige, including the addition of 3 new gymnasiums, an impressive colonnaded stoa of merchant shops and craftsmen's stalls, and many more shrines to the Roman gods. We most definitely have come to reflect the best and the worst of Rome. As the city grew in importance in industry, Thyatira became host to numerous guilds centered around the various trades. In fact, there are more trade guilds in our city than in any other city in Asia. The guilds are not solely the center of business life within the trades. If you belong to a guild, your life pretty much functions within the confines of the social, civic, and religious views of the guild as well. The 3 most powerful guilds in our city are the coppersmiths, the bronzesmiths, and the dyers. Those 3 greatly influence the thinking of our other guilds, which include the wool workers, the linen workers, the makers of outer garments, the leather workers, the tanners, the potters, the bakers, and the slave dealers. As you might expect, a person's position in the community is determined by which guild he belongs to and where he stands in the hierarchy of his respective guild.